Hi, my name is Sherry, or DJ Sherry B as some people know me. Thank you for watching my first video of card making. Now, I'm a very beginner card maker, although I do have a lot of the supplies that you would use to make cards and scrapbooking because I got bit by the craft bug watching National Craft Month years ago. I've bought physics machines, die cuts, I've bought, you name it, I have it. I have a Cricut personal cutter, which I've never taken out of the box. I have a Cricut Expression, which I just took out of the box not too long ago. Thought it was pretty cool looking, put it back in the box, and it's been collecting dust for the last 2 to 3 years. What has happened to me is in the last year, I've gotten really ill. And so I've spent a lot of time at home recuperating and wasted a lot of hours watching TV to where I could just puke. I don't want to watch TV anymore. So I've decided, again, watching HSN, with March being National Craft Month, it started the creative bug in me again. And I'm not very creative, but I can copy like no one's business. So I've decided to pull out a lot of my supplies and, take a mental inventory of the paper and things that I have and start making cards. Well, I belong to an online card service, a greeting card service, and it's fantastic where you can upload personal pictures and do your own journaling, and you can also have your own handwriting uploaded, but you don't get to embellish it or anything like that. So yes, it has its good points and it also has its bad points. And there's nothing more rewarding than making your own cards. And going on YouTube and putting in Cricut card making, there are so many tutorials and samples of cards that you ladies have created. It is just beyond my understanding. If I was to personally go to Hallmark or these other greeting card stores and try to buy the cards that you ladies have created, we know you can't put a price on it. I know it'd be at least $15 minimum, and your imagination, your creativity is just off the charts. So hats off to you ladies, and I appreciate you loading up all your tutorials and how-tos to make these cards. Now, what I've wanted to do is stop watching TV. I wanted to be a little bit more creative, a little smarter with my time. And so with Easter around the corner here, I decided I wanted to make a couple of Easter cards. But before I did that, I wanted to get familiar with my supplies and things that I have. So I started basically making a couple of cards. I pulled out some of my old card making magazines that I've had for years. I mean, these go back to like 2000 and 2003, 2004. They go way back. I've even have taken a trip to an art store and bought a couple of hardbound books to, that have all types of ideas for vintage cards and things like that. So you ladies know what I'm talking about. So it's so above my head, I can't even begin to think straight about it. But what I decided to do was start small and then go from there. So I have this really great friend of mine who allows me to go over to her house while I'm waiting for my doctor's appointment, and then I can just calm down and relax, and I can talk to my friend and spend some quality time with her. Well, purple's her favorite color, and her birthday has just passed, and I want to send her a belated birthday card, but I also want to send her a friendship card because it means a lot to me that she allows me to spend that time with her. So I created this very basic friendship card, and I used my Stampin' Up! Stamps for this, and some of my decorative edge scissors. I did that. And everything that you see here is just scrapbook paper or card making paper. And I just cut them to the dimensions that I needed and everything. So this is very basic, very plain, but I think it's cute. It has its own cute element added to it. So you can see that I have my girl on her little border edge here that I've decorated the edge with the scissors. Now, as you can see, I have a couple of layers of cardstock here with the polka dot paper there, and then there's like the back side of the paper right there for a so-called ribbon. And then I also put in these fabric flowers. So I thought that was pretty neat, and I just did my Stamping of Friendship going down. And then on the inside, I put a little journaling area right there, and then I got a vellum sentiment that I put in right there for her. And so I thought that that was really nice and basic and fun. And I just did my own little stamp that says hand stamped by, and I'll put my name on there later before I send it out to her. So that's what I did for the friendship card. And then I just kept with the purple theme for her birthday card. I used the same leftover cardstock paper, and it's purple, but it looks a little blue on the camera there. There's the polka dot paper there. There's a little square paper there, and I used the bow stamp from Stampin' Up, and I just, instead of gluing it on straight on, I kind of give it a little twist just to give it a little attitude. And again, my homemade little ribbon banner there with cardstock. And this is just a vellum happy birthday, as you can see right there. On the inside, I have my journaling section, and then I have my sentiment quote right there from Abraham Lincoln. So that's going to be my birthday card for her, even though it's late, but never better late than never. And then again, hand stamped by. Now, those are the two that I start off to be very basic and just to familiarize myself with how I'm going to move around on my table and where I put my scissors and my glue dots and things and stuff like that. You know, your basic supplies you need to have in your reach. So, and this was what inspired the birthday card right here. Is this sample right here, a project sheet that I received out of one of the magazines I used to subscribe to. So what I did was, by surfing on YouTube and watching all the various tutorials and how-tos and just samples of cards that you ladies have created, you really inspired me. And so I just wanted to start with, like I said, with Easter being around the corner, again, another basic card, but I had this crossed with the Easter lilies for a long time, and I never knew what I was going to do with it, and it's up on Pop Dot. And so it gives it some dimension, and I just used my decorative scissors edge right there. And then I put this is a gingham green and white ribbon, and I know I need to put some more right here. I'm not done with it, and I haven't done anything else on the inside. But again, I'm just trying to get my creative juices flowing, and once I see another card that someone's made that I can kind of, you know, plagiarize your idea, I would do that. But what I did find on some of these websites and blogs that you ladies are putting out is that you're making easel cards, and I just think those are fantastic and wonderful, and it just brings life to the card itself. And I found this one blog, a lady in Sweden, that she redid her craft room, and she has 2 shelves where she has created all these easel cards of different shapes and sizes and sentiments and holidays, and just wow. And her whole belief behind it is, she says that it picks her up when she walks into her room, and it helps her creative juices start to flow. So I'm following her lead there, and I'm going to make some everyday easel cards that I would like to see when I walk into my room. Just like if you were to have your family pictures on your wall, it makes your heart happy. It kind of changes your mindset for the moment. And you'll stand there and you'll look at those pictures and you'll remember when you took them and how much fun you had. So that's what I wanted to do with the easel cards. And so with Easter coming up, this was the first one that I decided to make. And so I actually pulled out my Cricut machine and I created this. And this is an actual frame from the Home Accent cartridge. Now, you ladies have hundreds and hundreds of these cartridges. I have 4. I have 4 cartridges. And so it's okay for me. I'm learning how to do this. It's going to be great. It's fun. But I was able to find this frame. But I cut, it was more than what I thought it was going to be. I thought I was doing the blackout, but it did all this intricate cutting for me, and it also took out the middle part. So it was a bit challenging to take it off the cutting mat. I had to be very, very careful, but nonetheless I succeeded. And so what I did was I just cut a yellow piece of cardstock to put it on the back of the frame to give it some depth. And then I cut the letters out of my Physic die cuts with the same paper as the frame. Now this grass is cut out of the Walk in My Garden cartridge. And then this bunny here is from my Physics seasonal die cuts. Now I don't have all the seasonal die cuts like or cartridges like you ladies have. So I was pretty hard pressed finding something for Easter. I don't have a chick, I don't have an Easter basket, I don't have eggs. I was lucky I found this bunny, so I was very, very happy. And then so on the inside, as you open up the card, this is the fun part for me, is how it just stands up like that. And so that's what I did on the inside of my card. I hope I straightened that out for you. And as you can see, I just created the same border paper, that the frame and the yellow backing. And I cut some grass out again. I just made it bigger. I have the butterfly over here. And then another butterfly up here in the corner on this side, on the front. And then I had this little flower pot. Oops, let me see over here. I had this flower pot just sitting in my supplies for the longest and didn't know what I was going to do with it, so I decided to put it there. So this is my first attempt of an easel card, and I think I did a pretty good job for my first time. And I realized that I can do a whole lot more, and getting some gel pens and some glitter and things like that, just following along what you other ladies do. And then here's just a couple of other quick cards that I made. This is out of the DCMW embossed cards. This is the friendship card. I just took a pink ink stamp and just um, slid it across, and then I just put these two flowers on there on hot dots. And then here's the other frame that I cut out. I cut out two just in case if I messed up. So again, it was very challenging to get it off, but I did okay. And then so I just stuck it on a plain white card, and I'll do something with this a little bit later. Now my anniversary is this weekend, and so I wanted to make something for my husband, and this is what I created. Again, this is a love stencil out of one of the Cricut cartridges, and I did it in blue and white to make the white the shadow. And again, I used my scissor decorative edge to cut around the two borders there. I inked around the white card. This white card does have love just the same way as this does, but I cut my border paper out too big so you really couldn't see it, so it's okay. It just as long as you can see the texture, it's good enough. Now what I did was I did ink the edges of the shadow and the black out of the word love, but what I did do, I messed up on the shadow part of it, the white one, and I did it in red, and it didn't pop the way that it did the way I wanted it to, so I created the card again. As you can see the difference between the two, this one pops so much better than this one. So this is the one, this one pops better than this one. I'm looking at it backwards in the camera. And so this is the one I'm going to give my husband, and I put the lips on there, and I edged the lips with red. And then I also put these fabric flowers there, and in the middle of the flowers, which you can't see on the camera, I put a little seed bead in there, just to give it some dimension. So that's my anniversary card. Oh, and I didn't show you the inside. I put, a little journaling section, and I'll fill that out on Friday to give it to him on Saturday. And my most favorite part is that I feel I'm doing so much better on the easel cards. Well, that was my first one. Here's my second one, and I just wanted an everyday because card, and I hope my husband will like it and put it on his desk at work. He is a project estimator. And so, but we call him Mr. MacGyver because he can do anything and everything, and he does a great job. So I had these little embellishments in my supplies that I've had for years and just never did anything with it. And so I decided that I wanted to make a card for him. And so this is what I did. I put the tool belt, and the paint brush and everything. And then, what I also did was on my border paper here, I had a truck stamp from Stampin' Up, and I just stamped trucks on the background of it there. And then, when you open it up, here is the easel part of it, and then there's some more tools. There's the toolbox down there. You see where I stamped the truck on there and everything, and so there's more tools in there. And then even on the back side, I stamped it with the truck. So I'm hoping that's very generic and manly for him, who won't think it's too girly of a card to put on his desk at work. But I really just want him to see that I'm doing something with my time instead of sitting around at home watching TV all the time. Now I'm just watching YouTube videos and learning how to make more cards and see. And I think that's I think it's okay for my second attempt of a easel card. So leave me your comments and let me know what you think. And remember, I'm just a beginner and I'm just learning how to do all this. Oh, and I took my caramel ink pad and I just edged around the edge here. So there's my second attempt of an easel card. I think I did a pretty good job for my second time around. I'm going to end this video now because I'm going to make one more easel card. And I'll just keep uploading these videos every now and then. And please send me your comments and any suggestions that you can give me for a beginner. I would love it. And one of these days I'll run out to Michael's and buy some more cartridges, or run to Walmart and get some cartridges. And hopefully I'll make some better easel cards for you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.